You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
I mean, everything that was in the trailer was out on the road. It was a disaster.
A rising death toll in New Mexico after a truck lost a tire, lost control, and drove head-on into a loaded passenger bus.
And an explosion at a Chicago factory and the rescue of workers trapped inside. We'll tell you what's happening and what we know this morning. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock, August 31st, Friday. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us on the day before the holiday starts day. It makes sense?
I think you got me still.
All right.
Yeah.
Over to someone that makes way more sense, John Scalzi.
I'm starting my holiday right now. What do you think?
Do it.
All right, we will. And I think along those lines, we'll have a little bit sunnier start to the day today. So I think as you head out, if you are going to work this morning, you have a reason to be grateful, I suppose. The no rain showers in the forecast for you during the morning commute. On the way home, however, there will be some showers around. It'd be good to have a First Alert weather app with you. I think they'll probably be tracing showers that move from inland areas toward the coastline with a general westerly motion, not much different than over the last few days. Rain chance about the same as well, coming in at about 60% after a relatively quiet start to the day. That forecast is probably going to be dittered at least for 50% of the holiday weekend. We'll talk about which days might be a little sunnier coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads so far. Only red we see in Manatee County is way up the top of your screen where 301 goes right by the Ellington Outlet Mall. It's right there, actually. Otherwise, no other congestion to speak of in Manatee County. Checking farther south, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Fruitville, some issues eastbound after you get past Beneva and start heading toward McIntosh. Otherwise clear. And then our final map to the south will show you some red at the top left corner of your screen. 41 northbound, right as you drive through Osprey. 6:01 right now, and happening this morning, saying goodbye to a music icon. It said the best singers tell a story, and in Aretha Franklin's case, what a story it was.
That's right. Now it's the world's turn to give some final R-E-S-P-E-C-T to the music legend. ABC's Zachary Keish is in Detroit as the world prepares to give the Queen of Soul one final tribute.
With range in soul, Aretha Franklin's music made audiences feel. Sometimes her words could touch you like a warm blanket, and other times, the power of her voice would hit you like you were riding shotgun on that highway of love. Led by some of the most recognizable artists, activists, and musicians, last night the nation said a little prayer for the legend. Then they blew the top off the Shane Park Amphitheater in Detroit. A musical tribute, her friends say, Aretha would have wanted.
She was an icon in the city of Detroit, and me growing up as a kid, I listened to her a lot with my mom and with my grandmother.
Despite humble beginnings, she was bound for glory. The seeds of her musical greatness planted in her father's church. She once said, "I'm using to the highest degree possible the gift that God gave me to use." Thousands of mourners have come to pay their respects. Some showed up driving pink Cadillacs.
There were people crying, but what I seen most was respect. And that's something that's like a moniker attached to Aretha, respect.
Lying in her open casket, wearing red shoes, her ankles crossed, Aretha exudes a mix of comfort and strength. She was always regal, but never considered herself royalty. Stevie Wonder, Chaka Khan, civil rights leaders, the greats are here. Today's funeral, a final goodbye. Aretha Franklin passed away August 16th at the age of 76. Aretha's last ride will be in the same vintage hearse that carried civil rights icon Rosa Parks. Zachary Keish, ABC News, Detroit.
All right, we've got more information on that. We're also saying goodbye to John McCain as well. They'll have more on his information. They're going to have some live tributes to him as well. He's going to be lying in state today, actually, in the U.S. Capitol, so it's going to be very interesting to see everything that happens there as well. Now, there's going to be several different speakers that are going to be happening today, and then later on tomorrow we'll have more from Washington. The 6th-term Republican senator from Arizona, like we've said, is going to lie in state under the Capitol Rotunda for a ceremony as well as a public visitation. Then on Saturday, McCain's procession is going to pause by the Vietnam Memorial and then head for the Washington National Cathedral for a more formal funeral service. Now, at his request, 2 former presidents, Barack Obama and George W. Bush, are both expected to speak there. People close to the White House and McCain's family say President Trump has been asked to stay away from all of the events.
Also happening today, President Trump is expected to sign an executive order to make it easier for small businesses to provide retirement plans for their respective workers. The White House will direct the Labor and Treasury departments to issue regulations to help businesses join together to offer association retirement plans. Administration officials say high costs often discourage employers from offering 401ks. He'll sign the directive at an event this morning in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, now to that developing story in New Mexico, where an investigation is underway into what caused a truck's tire to explode, sending it on a collision course with a fully loaded Greyhound bus. Now, authorities say that there are now 7 confirmed deaths in that crash. Greyhound says about 49 passengers were on board at the time, which was heading from Albuquerque to Phoenix, Arizona. Only 1 person was on board the truck at the time. State police say the driver suffered non-life-threatening injuries. No word yet on just what exactly it was that caused that truck's tire to explode.
That's why the crash reconstruction units here, they have specialized drones and equipment that they can measure, the tires and all that stuff, and they get that information.
The National Transportation Safety Board is involved with the investigation this morning. A Greyhound spokeswoman issuing a statement which says, in part, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone as we continue to give all support.
An investigation is also underway in Chicago this morning after a plant explosion seriously injured 10 people. It took firefighters over 2 hours to rescue victims trapped under the rubble of this mess. Police are investigating whether the explosion was caused by a buildup of methane, a byproduct of the treatment process. Wow. All right, caught on camera, a newly released video shows a driver in California striking a pedestrian and taking off, and this video might be a little bit graphic for you.
Yeah, there's warning out. Now, the victim is now talking about just what it was that led up to that hit and run. Dave Lopez reports.
What you see on the security video is being investigated by Gardena police as, quote, assault with a deadly weapon. The deadly weapon being the car.
The concrete divoted my skin and took a big chunk out. They said I have whiplash in my neck.
5 stitches in his chin, a fractured left wrist, and a sore back. Other than that, the 6'5", 275-pound Joshua Bird is okay.
I remember back to a YouTube video I watched probably about a couple months ago about stuntmen and how they get hit by cars and stuff like that. So all I remember was tuck my body, aim for the windshield, and pray for the best.
And that's what he did. He said he blacked out momentarily, then got up, and then on the video, you see the same car coming back. But only this time, Bird is on the sidewalk, and the car goes straight ahead and leaves.
Luckily, the dog scooted off.
A reference to the mixed pit bull that he was walking before he was going to work. This all started early Monday morning. Bird said there was a man parked in a car who threw trash out in front of the place where he works. The tree on the video obscures the car, but you can see Bird walking over. He said he asked the man to pick up his trash.
He got a little upset.
What did he say to you, anything?
All types of stuff, man. F you.
On the video, you then see the driver make circles in front of Bird, who's on the sidewalk. And then you see something thrown at Bird. Bird said it was a glass jar full of urine. And that's when Bird started chasing after the driver who was headed up the street. Bird said he stepped into the street to try to get a picture of the car or the license plate. And that's when he was mowed down.
I didn't know he was coming to hit me. You know, if I would have known he was coming to hit me, I would have got way more out the way. I thought he was just going to drive back and head this way.
Today, Gardena detectives came to see Bird. He showed them the video, gave them all the information that he remembers. Gardena police said they don't think they can get a plate off this video. Also on the video, right where Bird landed after being hit, there's a white SUV. You never see anyone going in or out of that SUV, but someone drove away while Bird was still on the ground.
Wow. Now to a first alert traffic note involving a popular bridge here on the Suncoast. Starting on Sunday, September 16th, a bridge maintenance project will get underway on the Anna Maria Island drawbridge. Now, drivers there can expect some delays during the nighttime hours. FDOT says there'll be some lane closures between 9 o'clock each night and 5 o'clock the next morning. The good news, though, construction is only expected to take about a week.
The state is asking you what improvements you think need to happen on a stretch of US 41 around the airport. FDOT is focusing on this 2-mile stretch between University Parkway and Whitfield Avenue. They're trying to figure out what safety improvements need to be made to make it better for drivers and bicyclists and pedestrians as well. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a warning from state police before the busy Labor Day weekend.
Plus, we're going to hear from some businesses in Siesta Village about the red tide impact that they're expecting for this holiday weekend. But first,
it is 6:09 on this Friday morning. As far as the weekend forecast goes, here's John Scalzi.
Well, we have the latest from Mote Marine on the amount of irritants in the air recorded by their spotters as they visit these beaches. And from yesterday's report, late yesterday afternoon, we have Holmes Beach and Siesta Key showing moderate amounts, but everybody else showing low amounts. Nokomis not showing any red tide irritant in the air. So this east wind is maybe being effective. Perhaps some of the freshwater runoff is also diluting concentrations, maybe. In any event, we'll have an update on this forecast as we head into noon today. They'll be producing new data probably around 10 o'clock this morning, 10 or 11 o'clock. We'll have the forecast for you coming up in a few.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticore that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Meet Time with Frangela premieres September 10th.
Meet Time.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Our temperature dew point and feels like temperature all the same at 74, giving us high humidity at 100%. We have that east wind continuing at about 7. The east wind again today providing us with a predictable weather pattern. Quiet during the morning hours, even some sunshine as we move into dawn. And then as we head into lunchtime hour, a few storms start to pop up as we head into the afternoon. Even more. Look for about a 60% chance of thunderstorms again this afternoon and really each day through the weekend. And a 50% chance as we head into the evening hours as most of those storms wind down. We have a few showers over on the other coast, nothing ongoing around here. Things are pretty quiet in that regard. A few rivers still at flood stage or slightly below. Most of those rivers receding by tomorrow or into Monday. We do have this area of disturbed weather we continue to watch. It's not looking very vigorous this morning. In fact, it's looking pretty ragged. It doesn't have much of a chance of developing over the next couple of days because upper level winds are tearing it apart. But after it gets into Gulf waters, it does have a chance of developing, about a 10% chance, that's it. And even if it did develop out in Gulf waters, it's moving away from the state of Florida. So I don't see this one as a major problem for the state of Florida in terms of tropical development. But it will be an extra slug of moisture that could help enhance our rainfall chances. Probably Monday and Tuesday, most likely, are the days for that. But we'll be monitoring it. Right now, the European forecast, which was more aggressive in developing this system, has kind of backed off on that. But it is producing some pretty heavy rainfall in the southern tip of the state and over on the other coast as that slug of moisture lifts up toward the northern Gulf Coast. We get some of the rainfall around here as well through about Tuesday or Wednesday. And then maybe a little bit of drier air moves in after that and kind of gives us a chance to dry out just a little bit. Rainfall futurecast shows we do get rainfall between Sunday and Monday in excess of what we normally would anticipate because of that slug of moisture, maybe an additional 2 inches, while other parts of the state of Florida get even more than that. Of course, we may adjust that as we move into the time period and see exactly where that system tracks and whether it survives those strong upper level winds. Here's the next named storm. It's a good distance away from us, about 3,500 miles away, having no impact on our weather whatsoever, but it will probably be called Florence by the end of the day. As it develops and moves, it will probably become a tropical storm first, and then eventually maybe a hurricane as it starts to curve back out into the open waters of the Atlantic by midweek next week. A fish storm with very little impact on land. Forecast for us is looking, well, a little iffy over the weekend. Just please remember those lightning safety tips. There's going to be lots of folks out there boating this weekend and fishing. And if you see a thunderstorm approach, seek safe harbor and certainly get inside if you can, because they will be around each and every afternoon. Probably Sunday, the less intense of the 2 days in terms of rainfall chance, but only by a marginal amount. East wind comes in at about 10 knots today. That's probably true right straight through the weekend. Moderate chop to a light chop, probably right straight through the weekend with a light chop. We'll look for a 60% chance of rainfall for today. Tomorrow, about the same, 60% both days, with daytime highs topping out pretty close to the 90-degree mark. If I had to pick one of the 2 weekend days with a likelihood of lesser rain chance, it would be Sunday. I'll put that at about 50%. Not a big deal, but it's something. Then as we head into next week, we're going to increase our rain chances. Again, I think we could get some 2-inch rainfalls or maybe more around on Tuesday from that slug of moisture heading this way. But I do think that most of the rain will fall in other locations on the Gulf Coast. And then as we head into Thursday, perhaps a little bit of a chance to lighten up. Don't forget, it's a great idea. Take your First Alert weather app with you this weekend. You can use it to track those storms and get emergency weather reports should any storms turn severe. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Take a look at traffic so far this morning. Not too bad, actually, in Manatee County. Just those bridges coming over into Bradenton, which is pretty typical around this time in the morning. Those are starting to see some delays. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad still this morning for a holiday. Clark Road, just a little bit of a delay as you come off of 75. If you're headed farther south, 75 and 41, not looking too bad either. You have a pretty easy commute at this hour. It is 6:18, and that is your First Alert traffic.
And speaking of traffic, as Labor Day weekend approaches, the state is reminding drivers to get plenty of rest before you hit the road. Here are some other tips now. Avoid driving at times when you would normally be asleep. Get enough rest before you drive. Take a break every 2 hours, perhaps. If you start to feel tired while driving, pull over in a safe place and take a nap, or at least rest your eyes. And read the warning information on all medications that you take. Good advice there.
Well, for most local businesses, Labor Day can usually bring in some of their biggest business of the year. But as red tide continues to linger, many business owners are already forecasting a much slower holiday weekend. Katie Spellman helps run operations for 4 different businesses in Siesta Village. She says since this bloom hit, they've seen almost a 50% drop in business.
It's been incredibly slow. So at the hub, for instance, we usually have about 6 to 9 servers on during the day. We're running with 2 servers.
According to a recent survey from Visit Florida, about 46% of the businesses reported a drop in business by more than 50%.
As red tide continues to kill more fish, the state is calling for a temporary catch and release period for snook and redfish. The area includes the section of northernmost Manatee County way down to South Collier County around Marco Island. The advisory stays in effect until September 26th. Other regulations outside of that remain unchanged, including the September 1st snook season in other Gulf and Atlantic state waters. Are we running low on fish now? Is that why?
Maybe a little bit.
We've gotten to that point. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, just in time for the holiday weekend, a warning about a hotel scam.
That's right. Plus, the good news for parents who may need some adult beverages when you're taking the kids to Disneyland to see Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers. We're going to tell you what it is very shortly. I call dibs on this story. But first, Marla.
Palmetto police are continuing to search for a man after he forced this school to go on lockdown yesterday afternoon after shoplifting at a local Walmart. A description of that man is coming up at 6:30.
All right, thank you, Marla. It is 6:20 right now. Should see a high of 90 degrees. Again, a good chance of rain, which is bad timing again, not only for Labor Day weekend, but also for tonight's Friday football. Some great games tonight. Don't miss our special report tonight at 11:15 on ABC 7.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
40 Carrots Family Center and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County present a free speaker event, Unselfie, Why Empathetic Kids Succeed in Our All About Me World, featuring parenting educator and author Michelle Borba at Riverview High School on Tuesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. Help children become successful, moral, courageous, and resilient. RSVP required at 40carrots.org. That's FORTYcarrots.org.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
So tonight is Friday football, as I mentioned, and guess what else?
That is, you are going to be out there.
I'm going to grab a camera and help the sports staff to go shoot the
you
Cardinal.
like this.
I love it. So I'll be at the Cardinal Mooney game. My better half, Erin, is a graduate of Cardinal Mooney.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm dragging her with me.
A little homecoming-ish.
Look, can it be fun?
I like that. It's going to be fair. That's a good date night.
Yeah, she doesn't think so.
She can be a reporter.
If it rains, I'm not coming, she said. All right, 6:24 right now.
All right, in news that involves my happy, happy place, Star Wars fans hoping to wet their whistles in a wretched hive of scum and villainy are in luck.
What?
Yes, I know. Ray's eyes just glazed over.
What are you talking about?
Thanks to the happiest place on Earth, the new Star Wars Galaxy Park, Ray, set to open in 2019, has booze. Actually, a place called Oga's Cantina, and it's modeled after the Mos Eisley Cantina in the first Star Wars movie. Again, Ray's eyes just glazed over. The new cantina is going to be the only place in Disneyland, the California version, where you can actually buy beer and wine. However, closer to home in Orlando, Disney's Magic Kingdom, they've been offering alcohol at their restaurant since 2012. Today, every sit-down restaurant there serves it because you have tiny children. Sometimes you need a margarita to handle that.
Just saying. Just saying.
This is my parenting perspective, yes.
All right. No ad lib there. These are tough times for Campbell's Soup as soup sales continue to plunge. When did you last have soup? Been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, they're going to sell off some Bolthouse Farms and Garden Fresh gourmet brands. The goal is to pay down the Campbell's debt. They'll instead focus on snacks, meals, and beverages.
And Coca-Cola is adding something new to their beverage lineup. Coffee. They're actually buying the Costa Coffee Company for about $5 billion. No word yet on whether they'll create a coffee and Coke combination, but I'd be okay with that one.
You're amazing how you drink that caffeine every day. A new holiday travel warning about a hotel scam.
ABC's Gio Benitez has the story in today's GMA First Look.
First Look, a hotel hijacker charging services to another couple's credit card.
I'm so upset and angry.
Haley Wells says when she and her husband left the hotel, they used the hotel's automated checkout service. 2 days after arriving home, she says she got a second bill from the hotel with 3 extra days of charges, including room stays, car valets, phone charges, and lots of room service. That's when they reached out to our ABC7 Chicago I-team.
A total of $6,539.
Wells says she showed the hotel receipts proving she left Chicago when the other charges occurred.
They basically told me that I was responsible for all of these charges.
We'll tell you how to stay safe from scammers coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Megan's smile is getting a lot of attention. That's because she goes beyond brushing with ACT mouthwash. ACT freshens breath and strengthens enamel, protects teeth from harmful acids, and helps prevent cavities. Protect your smile every day. Go beyond brushing with ACT.
How did we test our Dixie Ultra plates? With 2 pounds of steak in each hand. Dixie Ultra. Stress tested so you can stress less at dinner. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Je me fous du passé.
It's Macy's Labor Day sale with specials now through Monday. Like 50 to 65% off men's suits and casual styles. Bras from Bally & More, $16.99. And sandals for her, now 50% off. Now at Macy's.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now, lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
It was about a 16-inch gap that he had.
Caught between the law and a hard place, a man wanted in connection with a burglary, then arrested after he literally got stuck between a wall and a building. We'll explain.
Plus, the manhunt for a shoplifter who forced a lockdown of a Manatee County school. Those stories plus your holiday forecast next on Good Morning Suncoast. A shoplifter.
I know, it's a strange story, isn't it?
Yes.
Like how all this happened, but you'll understand. We've got our Marla Spence. She's going to explain it to us, if I can explain it right now. Good morning, it is 6:32. I'm Stephanie Webb.
It's at Marla's expense.
Marla's expense. She's paying for the story.
Let me ask John my question now. With
boy.
with all this rain we're having, I'm asking for the viewers because they're curious too. With all this rain, is it possible it might have diluted red tide by 1% out there, John Scalzi?
Oh, I can't give you a percentage. I do not know that. That's an interesting question, though, and certainly the position of the loop current has been shown in some scientific papers to influence the amount of transportation of waters from deep Gulf waters to the shelf Gulf waters, and that, in a large degree, can influence the development of a red tide by eliminating the dilution of the red tide concentrations by transporting some of that deeper water inland to the shelf. Whether or not our runoff has done that, I'm not sure. It seems reasonable to think that it might in some degree, though. I don't know if it's a significant degree or not. Anyway, a long-winded answer to a good question.
Thank you.
So we have across the region a lot of sunshine to start off the morning here. The sunshine, I think, will help to, again, to stabilize our atmosphere by afternoon, bring us that easterly windfall and fire off a few showers in inland areas which will drift toward the coastline, bringing us again today excellent chances of rainfall. Put that rainfall chance at about 60%. Are you sorry you asked me the question, Ray?
I woke back up. Now here's the maps right now in Manatee County. A little problem there at 301 northbound as you cross over State Road 70. Let's check farther south now. Here's the situation in the northern half of Sarasota County. Not much to report. A little slow down there on 301 in both directions, just south of University. Clark Road westbound around McIntosh. And then to our final map of the south, that'll show us nothing to speak of at 6:33 on this Friday morning.
Well, this morning, the story that we've been talking about is a strange story out of Manatee County where the hunt continues for a Walmart shoplifter after that incident set a school into lockdown mode yesterday.
Let's find out more about this from Marla Spence, who is live right now outside the Manatee School for the Arts. Marla?
Hey guys, police say they are continuing to look for that shoplifter this morning after taking a number of items from a local Walmart. That shoplifter ended up in this area, forcing Manatee School of the Arts to be on lockdown yesterday afternoon. Now, police did tell us that they searched a wooded area but came up empty-handed. Take a look. These are surveillance photos showing this man shoplifting a generator and possibly some other items from the Palmetto Walmart. Now, Manatee School of the Arts campus security spotted a man near the area on Haven Boulevard Thursday afternoon, and that's when the school was forced to be on lockdown. Now, that shoplifter is described by police to being a white male in his 40s or 50s with a bald head and a band tattoo, and he was also wearing black shorts and a black shirt.
A rumor went out, I guess, it started with some of the kids at the school calling their parents saying that there was an armed man on campus. That was never the case. This is a shoplifting suspect.
Now, if you recognize that shoplifter or know his whereabouts, you are urged to call Palmetto Police. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. In an effort to boost security in schools, now underway in Tallahassee, Governor Scott announced that he wants more funding for school safety, and he's hoping to redirect millions from an existing account to do it. Now, he asked for $58 million from that Guardian program to be given out to school districts for more safety. So far, only $9 million of the original $67 million in that program has even been used, which was set into motion after the Parkland shooting. Scott says the unused money should be used to hire more school resource officers this school year. Now, Scott claims if it's not used, that $58 million will be stuck in Tallahassee, unable to be used for anything until next school year. Manatee County School District is currently operating under that Guardian program.
Two unusual twists now in that shooting last weekend in Jacksonville. Get this. First off, the Clearwater man who was injured during the shooting at that video game tournament is now suing the game developer that sponsored the event. And the restaurant where it was held is now closed, not due to the shooting, but because the city says the restaurant didn't have the permit to hold the game in the first place. Last Sunday, police say a 24-year-old gamer from Baltimore opened fire in the restaurant, killing 2 people, injuring 11 before taking his own life.
Well, new military video released this morning shows some big issues in the Middle East. Small ships in the Gulf of Aden, they've been caught smuggling all kinds of weapons in the middle of this ongoing war in Yemen. Military sources say over 1,000 weapons have been seized right in that area so far. No word yet on who exactly it is that's behind all the smuggling.
In a turn of events, a suspected burglar got stuck between a wall and a building. As reporter Lisa Siegel tells us, it all was caught on camera.
Very scary. It is the end of a dramatic rescue. A trespassing suspect being taken out on a gurney after being caught between the cement wall of this Toluca Lake home and a garage on the other side. There's no way he was moving. Bettina Cusimano says she couldn't believe what happened when she woke up this morning at her home in the 10,400 block of Whipple Street. I was in the backyard with the dogs, and I knew something was wrong because they were going crazy. Got a phone call from my husband saying, "Get inside the house. Somebody is lodged between our walls." Police say they got a call about the man about 8 this morning. Firefighters quickly got to work breaking through the heavy cinder blocks. The suspect got in but couldn't get out, and we're told
it was about a 16-inch gap that he had. He'd been there since about midnight last night.
And this may not be the end of the story. LAPD says the man may have been involved in a burglary that happened in the same area last night. Police say they set up a perimeter but could not locate the suspects. It's all putting neighbors on edge.
It's very concerning, you know. I mean, obviously we're in a safe neighborhood, and certainly this is very, very disturbing.
So after this, the suspect was handcuffed, taken to the hospital, and arrested for trespassing. Bettina Cusimano is still in shock over what happened, but grateful her family and neighbors are okay. We try to secure our place as best we can, and but you know, there's some bad people out there.
pays for that wall now? The suspect?
I know, that is a very good question.
Doubt it.
Good question. Well, still ahead, that massive recall at Publix involving dozens of ground beef products. We're going to tell you what products to look for in your freezer.
Plus, the odd new way that scientists are looking to reduce cow emissions, should I say?
I think emissions is safe. I can't wait to hear you read this story.
It's making John Scalzi blush. I know that much so far. 6:39 right now. Cow emissions right over to the sky. Pretty shot there of the pastel sunrise in progress. Take it away, John.
And that's why I don't allow cows in my living room. We have the rain. I don't know what that means. We have the rain box checked on the drive time forecast, not so much for the commute to work, but for the commute on the way back to work. West moving storms will be in the forecast. Your detailed forecast in a second.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life, and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information, and be involved. Don't ignore the signs. Join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley, and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
74-degree air temperature, dew point the same, 100% relative humidity, making it feel kind of sticky out there with that east wind continuing to blow at 7. The east wind, again, bringing showers in from the other coast, colliding with our sea breeze and producing a chance of rainfall in the afternoon, a good chance of rainfall. Some of the storms could be heavy. Lightning pops will be around. Remember, over the course of the weekend, each and every afternoon, there will be thunderstorms around, and 2/3 of lightning deaths occur during leisure activities, and I'm sure there'll be lots of boaters out there this weekend, as well as other outside activities. So just remember, if you hear the thunder, you are in risk of being close enough to the parent storm to have a danger of being struck, so it's best to be indoors till the threat passes. Showers out in Atlantic waters, gradually drifting in this direction, riding on that easterly wind. Nothing changes there. Chance of formation over 5 days, 10% for this cluster of ragged-looking clouds down here near Hispaniola. Not much to look at presently or for the next several days as upper-level winds are just shredding this system. But there is some suggestion that as it moves toward the east, it could develop. I don't know. I think it might not even make it across the Florida Straits before it just completely falls apart. But nevertheless, it will contain a lot of moisture down there, and that moisture is definitely headed in this direction, bringing us chances of rain as we head into especially Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday. And I don't mean just chances of rain, because we've had chances of rain each and every day. I mean chances of some heavier rainfall. And that heavier rainfall, I think, will be felt most particularly in the southern tip of the state as well as on the east coast. But we'll be monitoring it for the potential of some heavier rains around here. You don't need much right now with the ground saturated to create some low-lying flooding, though most of the rivers will probably start to recede as we head into the weekend or even tomorrow night and then into Monday as well. Some of the last remaining rivers that are still close to flood stage. The forecast also shows some drier air moving in perhaps as that system moves out of here by Wednesday or so, and then we start to see perhaps a little bit more sunshine in the forecast for Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week. That's a long way down the road, though. If you take a look at the moisture available for rainfall in the atmosphere and put it into motion today, we have a good amount of moisture available. Perhaps by Sunday, we start to see some of these cooler colors work their way in. That means a little bit less moisture in our column of atmosphere to produce rain showers. So maybe on Sunday, a little bit more sunshine, a little chance to dry out. Then, of course, as we head into Monday and Tuesday, we'll watch that tropical wave approach, and it'll produce some very heavy rainfall somewhere across the state of Florida, I suspect, and most likely along the other coast. But it's still too early to definitely say that, so we'll be monitoring it right straight through the weekend. And if you live in a low-lying area prone to flooding, I suggest you keep current on those forecasts through the weekend. And then as we head into Thursday, Friday, again, some of that drier air working its way in on the backside of that tropical wave produces a little chance to dry out. Good news there. Total rainfall amounts from Sunday into Wednesday, accompanied because of that tropical wave, come in the 2 to 3 inch amounts for us. Other parts of the state get a whole lot more than that. We'll see. We'll probably see adjustments to that forecast as we head through the weekend. So, your forecast for beach and boating today. A moderate chop with an east wind coming in at about 10 knots this afternoon, decreasing to about 5 to 10 during the evening. We'll look for about a 60% chance of showers for the next couple of days. Sunday, perhaps a little bit more sunshine. Then Monday, we start to cloud up again. Tuesday, excellent chances of rain with that tropical wave. And then perhaps we dry out again starting on Thursday of next week. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. Some good news right there in Manatee County. The bridges were showing some congestion earlier, but that has all cleared up now, so those are running pretty smooth at this hour. 301 State Road 70 also running pretty smooth. A little farther south in Sarasota, the top half is looking pretty decent as well, and no real traffic bumps or delays out there. And if you're going to go a little bit farther south in the area, 75, 41, both of those are still running smooth as well this morning. It is 6:47, and that is your first alert traffic.
Now to a recall alert from Publix involving dozens of ground beef products due to possible E. coli contamination. About 20 customers have gotten sick so far. The items were sold between June 25th and July 31st. Now the USDA is urging consumers to check their freezers. For a full list of the Publix products being recalled, head to our website at mysuncoast.com.
Well, a warning this morning about the dangers of eating all those fun foods made with liquid nitrogen, like ice cream they're offering for kids, cereal, even your grown-up cocktails. Now, the FDA says injuries have actually occurred from handling or eating products prepared by adding that liquid nitrogen. Now, immediately before you eat it or drink it, even after it's fully evaporated. Now, although it's not toxic itself, the extremely low temperatures are what makes it so dangerous, especially if the nitrogen hasn't completely evaporated.
Could seaweed be the answer for reducing cow emissions? University of California researchers are feeding seaweed to cows in a bid to make cattle more climate friendly. What are we talking about here?
You're going to need to explain this.
In a study,
in layman's terms, Ray.
I'm not sure I want to. In a study this past spring, researchers found that methane emissions were reduced by more than 30% in a dozen cows that ate the seaweed, which was mixed into their feed. Are we talking about what I think I'm talking about?
Gray, I don't understand any of this. I need you to explain it to me. What did you just read?
Why'd they choose me to read this story?
I think you just read a story about cow farts on the air.
Still, there's no 7-second delay here. We'll update the day's top 7 news headlines next.
Man, we'll be right back. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
And she's still here.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers. Or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. Weekdays on ABC 7.
Welcome back. In entertainment news, Michael Jackson's Thriller in IMAX. Yes, please. Here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
Are you ready for Michael Jackson's Thriller in IMAX 3D? Jackson's estate and IMAX are remastering the classic 1983 short film for a one-week release in IMAX theaters beginning September 21st, if you dare.
Maybe it's time to let the old ways die.
Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga star in the new take on A Star Is Born, the movie and the soundtrack. They've announced they appear on the album's 19 songs in solos and duets, and that the LP features original material from both. The film and the soundtrack arrive October 5th.
Gary Hart is the man to beat in '88.
Here's your first look at Hugh Jackman in The Frontrunner, opening in November. Jackman plays Gary Hart, whose presidential candidacy was felled by an affair, as political journalism and tabloid journalism merged for the first time.
This campaign is about the future, not rumors, not sleaze, and I care about the sanctity of this process, whether you do or do not.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All of Broadway paid tribute last night to legendary playwright Neil Simon. The dimming of lights took place at 6:45 last night for 1 minute in his honor. The Pulitzer Prize winner died last Sunday due to complications from pneumonia. Neil Simon wrote more than 30 plays. Some of his hits included The Odd Couple and Barefoot in the Park. He was 91 years old.
Well, former Melrose Place star Heather Locklear is now facing 3 more charges for a June arrest where she attacked police and EMTs. Now, she's still in rehab right now, but her attorney lodged a not guilty plea on her behalf in court yesterday. And here we go. Here is your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's all-important first alert forecast.
Sunshine to start the day, but I'll tell you what, as you head out the door, take your rain gear with you. You'll need it later on. First Alert weather app, good to have right straight through the weekend, as we will have showers and thunderstorms around each and every day. Storms build inland and then move toward the Gulf waters every day with a daytime temperature starting off in the 70s, ending up in the 90s. Back to you.
All right, number 2, quick look at traffic now. First off, Manatee County, pretty good there. They'll slow down 64 westbound as you approach the Braden River. Checking the upper half now of Sarasota County. Bee Ridge Road, some congestion eastbound around Tuttle and Beneva. And South County, one little blip there about Nokomis, no big issue right now.
And number 3, the hunt continues for a Walmart shoplifter who caused Manatee School of the Arts to go into lockdown yesterday afternoon as they search for the suspect.
Number 4, tragic story in New Mexico. A truck blew a tire, lost control, and crashed head-on into a loaded Greyhound bus. 7 are dead. There were 49 passengers on board, which was heading from Albuquerque to Phoenix.
And number 5, Publix has issued a massive recall of dozens of ground beef products due to possible contamination of E. coli. More than 18 illnesses have been reported. Now, we do have a full list online at mysuncoast.com of all the items on the list.
Number 6, the late singer Aretha Franklin will be laid to rest today. The funeral is set for 10 a.m. in Detroit. Celebrities from around the world will say their final goodbyes.
And number 7, what's trending? 2 of the best worlds just combined. Fruit Loop Donuts. Let's say this again, folks. Fruit Loop Donuts. Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are offering this new colorful donut combo. Each one of these beautiful donuts tastes like a different Fruit Loop. A 5-pack is going to cost about $1.99, and they are going to be out in those restaurants coming this Wednesday.
They look pretty.
Fruit Loop Donuts.
You know what comes to my mind, though?
What?
Don't feed them to the cows.
Oh. Let's ask Ray more about cow emissions.
Why do they give me that story?
Because you're Ray, and
It's a
I
big
can't
problem,
be trusted
actually.
with
If that works
story.
out, that would be a great thing, because you know what? That's a huge contribution to environmental change, is methane gas in the air. So
I'm going to take your word for that.
yeah, no,
what
it
you
is.
just
It's
said.
huge. It's as big, if not more, than the fossil fuel emissions.
It's interesting that you're using seaweed. That could be the key in that.
Yeah.
Nice having a
stuff.
scientist here on board.
I
right
know,
now.
right? Brings us down to earth. Because
Well,
we're 12-year-old boys in our heads.
Have a great holiday weekend. We will be here Monday, all of us. Yes?
Yeah, we're all here Monday. Yep.
Sure enough.
And Good Morning America is next. Have a great day, folks.